I'm curious about your perspective to see kind of the flip-flop of Kade Stover and like just to see what that's looked like from your perspective and going to linebackers coming back. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't make those decisions, so you might have to ask somebody else about why. But I think any time that we can get Kade onto the field, I think it's good for the team.
Yeah.
So he's a great dude, and he brings, like I said earlier, but he brings a great edge and kind of attitude that I really like to see on the field, and I like to see our team embody. So it's just been awesome, wherever it's at, to see him step up.
Well, that's one of the things that he was talking about, is kind of bringing this defensive mentality. This kind of, he wants to maul people as he's blocking, and and one of the things he said, he's like, that attitude is infectious.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about how you've seen his kind of shift, his kind of experience in that linebacker room affect how he plays, and then how it affects kind of the tight end room as a whole.
Yeah, I think it was great for Kade to get out there, and I think it's a little more of a you have a little more freedom at that position, so it was good for him to kind of be himself and get back into that old role, and I think it maybe has given him some confidence, which is great, and he's bringing it back into the tight end room, so it's awesome to see.
Do you want to be like a malicious blocker?
Yeah, of course.
Do you see a difference like in your approach based on or
yeah, I mean, I think that we kind of made a decision a while ago, like it was really me and Ruck were kind of like trying to figure out how to both learning this position kind of at the same time and trying to figure out if it, like, the techniques and everything, and eventually I think we just came up with the motto, just swing, basically, is the idea. So if I'm gonna miss, or if I'm gonna lose the block, I'm gonna lose it going 100 miles an hour rather than being hesitant. So I think that's kind of an idea that we've had for a while, and Kade just kind of amplifies that.
Do you feel like tight ends thrive most when they're playing freely, or like in terms of blocking mentality, not having to think about it, just like going out there and doing what you know how to do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of it's a developmental position, like I said a little earlier, but there's a lot of working out feet and hands and really kind of developing, because it's a tough position to learn. But I think once you kind of figure out the plays and the system and all that, where to line up and the things you got to get done pre-snap, I guess, once you can kind of anticipate better, then you can kind of cut loose and play a little more free.
And again, I'm probably going through the greatest hits here, so I'm sorry. But how have you seen that kind of shift? Like, do you see that in G at all? Like in terms of
actually G's coming along awesome. I think that's one of the things, is just getting more comfortable with the fundamentals, I guess, of it, and then once you kind of get more reps and see other people playing the position, like watching me and Ruck, I think that once he's freed up a little bit, and it's good to see him kind of getting after it.
Because from an outside perspective, you look at a blocker, it's almost like, okay, he just has to get bigger and then he'll be that blocking tight end. But like, it seems to be so much more than that. Like, I mean, it seems one of the things that your coach was saying, he's getting through the fundamentals of blocking.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about like what does that look like in terms of developing those fundamentals that make you a successful blocking tight end?
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just kind of like body position and like coming off the ball from in the 2-point or the 3-point, or being stood up, because there's just so much to playing tight end. You have to run block, pass block, defensive end, block a DB on the perimeter. You have to get open against linebackers, safeties. So I think it's just getting reps at, we do a great job developing the position and trying to apply it to the field. But yeah, it's tough. But I think once you can start anticipating, you free up and play faster and be more aggressive.
How much has that, or when did you get that for the first time, I guess I just kind of, me and Ruck kind of joke about, like, a couple of the first, like, inside reps I took at tight end is where, like, I didn't have the, developmental and the fundamentals, or, like, the football position and all that stuff. So I just kind of, like, was flying around, like, as hard as I could, and then figure it out from there, I guess. So I kind of started out that way, just because I'm obviously not as big either. So I think that kind of came naturally to me. That's kind of how I play anyways. So what is it like to see Jeremy Ruckert kind of on the path that he's on now?
Yeah, I'm so excited for Ruck. He's worked so hard through here and put the team before himself for 4 years, and it's really exciting to see his hard work starting to pay off and him making that next step. I'm really excited for him.
And I guess for the future of the room, I mean, you see Joe Royer over here, you see Kade coming back. I mean, like, it's one of the things that Ryan Day said. He's like, this is pretty much the same room like as last year. I mean, you guys had an Bennett Christian, but like, what are you thinking, like, in terms of the room? What is it like? What are there high expectations? Like, what's kind of, if you were to describe where the Ohio State tight end room is right now, where would you think?
I'm excited about the unit, man. We have a lot of different skill sets, and I think that kind of makes us, it gives us a better chance to get more of us on the field at once, and that's something that's really exciting. I think that something we never really have to worry about with each other is kind of like character, and I really like the people that we have, and along with that we have great players, so I'm very excited about the room heading into next year.
Cade said that he brings a defensive mentality to the tight end position. What does that look like out on the field?
Yeah, I think it's just, you can kind of feel it, like his attitude and kind of his ruggedness. He's got an edge to him, and he plays hard, and I think it's infectious to the rest of the team that he's a tough guy and he brings that energy, and it's good to see, and it's infectious.
From Joe Royer and G. Scott, what have you seen from each of those two guys in their development?
Yeah, they're both coming along. I think they're just kind of willingness to learn, and putting the team first, and accepting the fact that they got to be able to go in there and cut off a defensive end or pass pro. I think that they both are just obviously awesome, electrifying guys on the outside, but they're willing to put the team first and put the work in to be good at the blocking aspect of it too.
How do you feel like you and Kade and Joe and G each complement each other?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just saying. I think it's awesome that we have a lot of skill sets in the room, and I think that it's encouraging that hopefully we pros like different abilities that our coaches can kind of use to advantage, and hopefully get us all out there a little more at the same time, and that's really exciting, all the different aspects.
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mitch.